All right, here we go. Part 6. Nothing like making a 6-minute video into an hour-long video. Each step, though, is so critical, and there's so much that we're learning about Photoshop, so here we go. All right, the next step is going to be basically to add some highlights here to the foreground, the tree, and then actually add a little bit more glow around the antlers. So let's do that. We're going to create another new layer here. Let's rename it. We're going to call this foreground or ambient fill highlights. We're going to basically do what we did with the deer. We're going to paint using the same color that we chose, the same 100% opacity, 20% flow. We're going to use the right bracket key to make a nice big brush, and then hold shift and press the left bracket key to get a 0% highlight. And we're just going to paint here around. You could use the eraser tool to modify that if you wanted to. In this case, actually, I think I will. I'll grab the eraser tool. The shortcut key is E for eraser, and I'm just going to kind of erase around the deer a little bit here. Back to the brush tool now. I'm going to just do one click there. That's going to add a little bit of more of that glow happening. And then I'm going to get a much smaller brush here. And this is a great shortcut key. Anytime you're using a brush and you've got a straight line like this, if you click at the top of the place that you want to draw a line, and then hold the shift key down and click on where you want that line to go, boom, there it is. There's that straight line. We're going to go ahead and grab a little bit of a bigger brush now. Start just to the right, and then do the same thing here, shift click, and that's going to create a blended highlight. So one edge of the tree is a little bit brighter, and then as it kind of curves around, it gets a little darker. We can modify this later with the eraser tool. I'm going to get a nice big brush, nice big soft brush, and I'm just going to paint a little bit more to kind of get that to blend. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. There we go. We'll see. I think we may want to actually, even before we do anything else, with the opacity at 30%, flow at 30%, actually just erase a little bit here to get that highlight to actually reflect where on that tree is it going to be the brightest. And right now it's actually the closest to the antler in the middle is the brightest by erasing back a little bit here at the top, maybe even a little bit more up here, fade to nothing. And similarly here, maybe just fade quite a bit. I think I'm going to get a big eraser, and I'm just going to erase a little bit more so that that sort of glow is more naturally kind of falling out there. And so we're shaping this two-dimensional space here in Photoshop using what we understand about light. All right. Same thing here for the blending mode. We're going to go ahead and change this to color dodge, and then change the fill, bring it all the way down to 0, and then bring it up a little bit at a time. Okay, we know somewhere around 40–50% is too much. 30% again seems to be about right. 0%, 46%, a little bit too. You know what? Actually, that might be okay. Now that I'm seeing this, somewhere around 40% in this case, I think might be what we wanted to see here. Looks okay. That looks pretty good. All right, ready for the next step. Okay, from this point forward, I would say that the rest of the video is pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. There are a few things that I wanted to highlight and explain. One being creating a layer mask. If you're not familiar with how to create a layer mask, how to modify a layer mask, I would say the point at which that happens in the video, it's probably a good idea to go back and look up and study that. If you're in class with me, ask for help. I'm going to actually call it quits here. I've already spent a long time explaining this very short video from Spoon Graphics. I would say pick it up from right around 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and from that point forward to the end of the video, I would just follow it pretty much step for step, including getting the grain textures from Spoon Graphics. If you sign up for the emails from Spoon Graphics, there's all of these great resources, including these grain textures to use for the next step of the video. I think following that video just straight through to the end should be pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So thanks for following along, and for this little bit long-winded breakdown of this pretty cool effect here. Remember, you can use this now to create really interesting effects. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. By understanding the process and understanding Photoshop a little better, you can use this to create a lightsaber effect. You could use this to create some sort of magical kind of look. So good luck out there in Photoshop land, everybody. Thanks for watching.